Hey guys, welcome to part 6 of my reference playlist. I need the item I'm working on today for my next project, so I'm just separating it out to keep the next video a little bit shorter. So in terms of a pattern, I don't really have one. I generally don't, because I don't like working with patterns. I don't like writing them, really. That's my issue. But follow along and you'll see just how this can be adjusted to fit any size amigurumi. That's usually the way I like to work, free from any kind of constraints. Anyway, with that being said, let's get into it. As this is a small piece, I won't really be using much in terms of materials. In fact, I'll only be using this sort of chartreusey green from the King Cole Precise range. I always call that Precise, it's Pricewise. Yeah, it's the Pricewise range. I love how this green is so bright and vibrant, and it's such a lovely shade, don't you think? Well, either way, it's one of my favorites. Well done, King Cole. Love this color. To begin with, you need to define the size of your bag. I measured my amigurumi and settled at 1.5 or so inches. This is the part where you can adjust the size of the bag to make it bigger or smaller respectively. So since mine was 1.5 inches, I changed some stitches until I matched that length and then added one more just for the turning chain. Once you're done with the foundation chain, turn and work either single crochet or half double crochet stitches depending on how fast you want this to grow. I actually started off with single crochet stitches and then immediately switched to half double crochets after the first row. Either way, at this point, just keep crocheting until you reach the height of the bag you want. I wanted my bag to be a square-ish, although I could also readjust it into a rectangle later on. To put it simply, just crochet to the height of your desired bag, and then you basically want to repeat that 3 times. So for my bag, my final height was roughly, again, 1.5 because I wanted it to be a square, and then I times that by 3, which would make it 4.5 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to go back slightly to show you how I deal with these ends. Usually when I start a project working in rows, there will be this end that I just don't like. I mean, you can weave it in later on, but what I do is, in the following row, after the foundation chain, I will basically start my first stitch, but before I finish it, I will flip over this end and then do my stitches on top of it. That way, once I've finished the row, that entire length is left inside the work and I don't have to stitch it in later on, because it will save you some time not having to bring out that needle. So that's my method, and obviously at the end I'll just cut off the excess, and that end is safe and secure in the project. That's the PSA out of the way. Let's get back into the project. I'm now going to go into the time lapse for this and come back when I'm at the length I need. Make sure to also leave a 6-inch tail at the end for the next step. Now that you have the right length, this is the part where you can make adjustments if you want to. After all, I named this the lazy bag for a reason. It's not functional in any way, it's literally just there for decoration and taking fantastic pictures. And it's great for when your upload deadline is screaming towards you and you ain't got time for that, and there's no way you'll dodge it in time. So begin at any end and just fold the piece over 3 times. If you fold it equally, you can get a square bag, or you can offset it a little bit to get a more rectangular bag. It all depends on where you want the bag flap thingy to be. I decided to offset it a little and have the opening flap somewhere just a smidge past the midpoint. Once you have the bag folded to your liking, just take the end and sew back and forth through all the layers to keep them secure. I did this along the entire width of the bag in the middle, and incidentally, if you want to further create the illusion of a functioning bag, then just sew the other layers down and leave the flap open so it looks like the bag can indeed open when really it can't. Okay, so we have the bag, now we need the strap. For the strap, you can always absolutely use anything you like, including string, crochet, leather, or even chain if you have any chain with you. Because chain always travels with you. No, if you have any chain at your disposal. I did consider using some gold chain that I have, but this is meant to be a lazy bag, and quite frankly I didn't feel like fishing out all my jewelry tools, so I'll just be sticking with a crochet strap for today. For the strap, you will again need to measure the amigurumi to get a rough size of the length needed. Then chain a number of stitches to that length. And once I did that, I then turned and did slip stitches back down the chain because I wanted a straight strap. Finally, I then sewed the ends of the strap to either side of the bag. Fairly simple and lazy, right? No effort needed. At this point, I did feel like the bag was missing some detail. I was considering using some beads, but that would have involved sewing, and that's not gonna do for this lazy bag, or any kind of embroidery. No, we don't want that. So I added a green gem instead to act as the bag's clasp, and that's just glue and a gem. Simple, nice and easy. You can of course add whatever embellishments and detail that you think you need. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so while I glue on the gem, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. Enjoy the lazy bag, and if you make one, feel free to send me pics of your beautiful work. I'd love to see what you guys are making, and of course feel free to tag me in anything that you make. If you'd like to see more, then please like, share, comment, and even consider subscribing. If you are feeling generous, then also please consider buying me a cup of coffee on Ko-fi. The link to my Ko-fi page will be included in the description box below, and any and all donations will be greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to hit that bell button to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that, enjoy the beauty shots, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!